Welcome back to the Explainer. Look, if you're planning to expand your business footprint into Southeast Asia, you already know you need a rock-solid IP strategy. So today, we're taking a really rapid, strategic dive into exactly how you go about protecting your brand, specifically in Cambodia. We're gonna cut right through the noise and give you the actionable insights you actually need to secure your trademarks in this incredibly fast-growing market. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our really brisk roadmap for the next few minutes. We're gonna cover 1. Why Cambodia matters. 2. Trademarks you can protect. 3. The registration process. 4. Rules and recent changes. And 5. Why should act early. Part 1. Why Cambodia matters. As businesses scale up across Southeast Asia, Cambodia is really standing out as a massive destination for foreign investment. But with that kind of rapid growth comes the inevitable risk of infringement, counterfeiting, the whole shebang. So to navigate this safely, you absolutely have to understand their specific rulebook. The foundational framework here is the 2000 Law on Marks, Trade Names, and Acts of Unfair Competition. This is governed by the Ministry of Commerce, specifically their Department of Intellectual Property. Getting a handle on this legal structure, your absolutely crucial first step to avoiding some major legal headaches down the line. And sitting right at the very center of this framework is a massive, bold idea that you really just need to memorize right now. It's the first-to-file principle. Basically, in Cambodia, the person or organization who files the trademark application first gets the rights, period. It literally does not matter who actually used the trademark first in the market. So if you don't file, you don't own it. Moving on to part 2, trademarks you can protect. Now, what's really interesting about this next section is defining exactly what actually counts as a trademark under Cambodian law, right? Because you can't just protect anything. It has to fit into some very specific buckets. Currently, a mark has to be a visible sign that distinguishes your goods or services. There are 4 main types. You've got word marks, your phrases, letters, numbers, then figurative marks, so logos, images, symbols. You can have combined marks that mix words and devices, and finally, 3-dimensional marks like distinct shapes or unique packaging. But I gotta briskly warn you here, non-traditional marks, they are strictly off the table. If your brand relies on a signature sound, a specific smell, taste, or emotion, you just can't register it as a trademark in Cambodia. So yeah, no trademarking the signature scent of your new product line just yet. And this next point brilliantly illustrates why having a localized strategy is so vital. Look at this comparison for non-Latin characters. Cambodia will actually accept trademarks using non-Latin scripts, think Chinese, Japanese, or Korean, as long as you provide a translation and transliteration. On the flip side, their neighbor Vietnam doesn't accept them. It just shows you how one region can have vastly different sets of rules. Alright, section 3, the registration process. Let's see how this all builds into the actual step-by-step filing procedure, because knowing the rules is great, but executing on them is how you actually protect your assets. The process breaks down into 5 core actions. First, do a search. It's optional, but highly recommended to minimize any refusal risks. Second is filing. Keep in mind, foreign entities without a local presence must use a Cambodian IP agent. Third, there's a formality examination and publication phase that takes about 1 to 2 months. Fourth is a substantive examination. This actually moves pretty quick, typically taking just 9 to 12 months. And then finally, step 5, the actual grant of registration. And once you hit step 5 and you get that certificate in hand, you are granted 10 solid years of protection, and honestly, the best part? That 10-year term can be renewed indefinitely, assuming of course you follow the maintenance rules. Which brings us to section 4, rules and recent changes. Speaking of those maintenance rules, we need to shift to a slightly more cautionary tone for a second. The regulatory landscape there has shifted recently, and keeping the 10-year protection alive has become notably stricter. Case in point, as of August 202, this means you are now forced to file a single multi-class application if you're registering the exact same trademark across different classes of goods on the same day. You can't just split them up into several single-class applications anymore. But the really crucial point to remember is the 5th anniversary of your registration. Within 1 year after that 5-year mark hits, you are legally required to file what's called an affidavit of use or non-use, and consider this a major warning. In the past, authorities were maybe a little flexible with this deadline. Well, not anymore. Since August 2023, Cambodia has been strictly enforcing this affidavit rule just to clear out all the unused marks. If you fail to file within that window, your trademark will literally be removed from the register. Unlike Vietnam, which doesn't even have this requirement, in Cambodia missing this deadline is completely fatal to your brand's protection, so do not miss it. Finally, Section 5, why act early? Let's bring all these ideas together to hammer home our ultimate strategic takeaway. Why does this all matter, and why do you need to move on this quickly? Put simply, filing early is your ultimate strategic advantage. Because of that first-to-file principle we talked about, acting right now completely avoids the risk of someone else misappropriating your brand. It establishes undeniable lawful ownership, it gives you massive legal leverage in licensing or disputes, and it properly secures your business as you expand across the region. Which leaves us with one final, kind of urgent thought to wrap up this explainer. As your business grows and you start preparing to cross the border into Cambodia, will your brand be legally yours, or will a faster filer already own it? That choice and the strategy you use is entirely up to you.